So finding that seat, if you're sitting on your heels, you might keep your toes untucked, so the tops of the feet are towards the mat, or you might tuck your toes and then the soles of the feet might get that little extra stretch. And then wherever you're sitting, feel free to also find a cross-legged seat, as I mentioned. But then bring your shoulders more or less over your hips and close your eyes if that's comfortable for you at this moment. And see if you can let go of the outside and draw all of your attention within. So just noticing any sensations in the physical body at this moment. Noticing any emotional states, any expectation of what's to come, any stories of what happened earlier. And then see if you can bring yourself to the here and the now, physically and mentally. And if you can, use your breath as that tool to keep you in the present moment. So focus your attention on your next inhale. And then keep it on your next exhale. And then notice how the torso moves as you breathe in. And how it moves as you breathe out. What needs to happen in order to air arrive into the lungs accept that air. And then what needs to happen in order for the air to leave the lungs. And then moving through that cycle again and again. Being a bit more intentional about moving to accept that air in. And now about moving to push that air out. Let's take about 5 cycles of breath. If you can, breathing a bit more through the nose. And then with your next inhale, opening the eyes if they're closed, reaching your arms wide and overhead. Maybe gazing up towards those fingers, and then as you exhale, interlace those fingers and turn the palms towards the ceiling. Find a stretch through the side body, all the way through those wrists and those palms and fingers. And now on your exhale, send your palms forward and round your spine, draw belly to spine and push that back body back. As you breathe in, come back up, reaching up through the palms, find that side body stretch. As you breathe out, find that rounding chin towards your chest. One more just like that. Inhale and lengthen up. And exhale and round your spine. Now as you inhale, neutral spine, open your arms out into a T, palms face behind you, and then bring them behind you as you interlace your fingers. Open up through the chest, knuckles towards the floor, finding that space in the fronts of the shoulders, in the rib cage, breathing in and breathing out. With your next inhale, release those hands, reach them tall once again. And this time on your exhale, lower your left hand down and find a side stretch. Reach up and over with your right hand. Inhale, returning through center and taking it over to the other side as you exhale. Inhale, coming back through center. And now on your exhale, an open arm twist towards the left side. So your left arm goes behind you, your right arm reaches forward. Palms are facing towards the left. And you're keeping those shoulders over your hips. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. As you inhale, coming back through center, arms lift. And on your exhale, take it towards the right side, right arm behind you, left arm reaching forward. Breath in and breath out. With your next inhale, coming back through center, reaching your arms up. And on your exhale, lower those hands to your thighs. Holding onto your knees as you breathe in, bring your chest forward, bend your elbows, draw them back, cow pose with that spine. And then as you breathe out, round your spine. And keep a hold on those legs, on those knees. And then again, inhale, bring that chest forward. And exhale and round, chin to chest. One more like that. Inhale forward. And exhale to round. Now finding a neutral spine, we're coming back into a twist. This time the hands are going to come to the chest. Thumbs glued to the center of the chest, elbows pointing in opposite directions. We're going to rotate, so take a full breath in. And then as you exhale, rotate towards your left. Keep the chest and the thumbs together. So rotation is coming just from that work through abdominal, through the core muscles. And then release your hands, right hand to your left thigh, and left hand maybe comes behind you or maybe grabs a hold of your foot if you were sitting on your heels. And then see if you can use your hands to take yourself a little further into that twist. Take another breath in and another breath out. As you inhale back through center, reach your arms tall. On your exhale, hands again to your heart. Palms together, push the heels of the hands against one another. Spread your elbows. Thumbs glued to the center of the chest, and now begin to turn towards your right. Breathing in here. Breathing out. And then from here, release your hands, left hand to your right thigh, right hand maybe wraps around your feet as you help yourself go into that twist a little deeper. Keep that engagement through the core. Take another breath in and another breath out. As you inhale, release, coming back through center. And then on your exhale, bring those hands in front of you and come into a table pose. Align your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. And then let's give those feet a little attention. So lift your feet off the ground and then rotate through your ankles in one direction. And then in the other. And then tops of the feet tap down onto the mat. Give them a little push. And then find some stillness through those legs. As you breathe in, drop the belly, bring the chest forward, lift your gaze. And as you breathe out, round your spine. 2 more times. Inhale, coming forward and up. Exhale and rounding. And again, inhale, gazing up, lift those sit bones. And exhale and round. Now finding a neutral spine, and with your next breath in, that left arm reaches out to the side, up towards the ceiling. And then on your breath out, left arm threads under the right. Look over to the right side. 2 more just like that. Breathing into open. Breathing out to thread. And breathing into open. And breathing out to thread. Now as you inhale, open to your left. And on your exhale, send your left arm forward and find as much space as you can between those left fingers and that left knee. Maybe coming onto your right forearm, your left fingers might walk a little further. Pausing, breathing in and breathing out. Walk your left hand back, come back onto both hands, switching sides, right arm out to the side, up towards the ceiling. Exhale, thread towards your left. 2 more times. Inhale and open. Exhale and thread. And inhale, open. And exhale, thread. This time, open up, inhale. And then hand goes all the way forward on your fingertips. Find that space, that length in the right side. Maybe onto your left forearm. Right fingers can reach a bit further. Make sure that you don't bring your hip with you, so send that right hip back. Full breath in And full breath out. And then with your next inhale, come back onto those hands, under your shoulders, tuck your toes, and this time downward facing dog. Push those sit bones up and back. In your downward facing dog, come onto the balls of the feet, so lift your heels. And then on your exhale, lower your heels, maybe lift your toes. See if you can keep your belly as close to your thighs as possible as you do this. Again, inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, lower heels, maybe toes lift. One more time like that. Inhale, lift. And exhale and lower. Now from here, walk your hands towards your feet, coming to the back of the mat. Find a forward fold. Hold on to opposite elbows, breathing in and breathing out. One more breath in and a breath out. With your next inhale, hands to your hips, a bend in those knees and rising up slowly, one vertebra stacking over the other. Finding your mountain pose, arms by your side, palms facing forward, crown of the head reaching tall. With your next breath in, reach your arms overhead. And as you breathe out, right arm down, side stretch. Returning through center, inhale, and taking it to the other side as we exhale. Coming back through center, inhale. Hands behind you, interlace them. Open up through the chest, breathing in, and then find a bend in those knees and fold forward. Send those knuckles towards the ceiling, any amount, getting that shoulder stretch. Full inhale and a full exhale. And now releasing those hands, planting them and walking them to the top of the mat. We're coming into a plank pose. Those hands under the shoulders, those heels pushing back, and then try to draw that lower belly up and in, and imagine tucking your tailbone between your legs. Find a bit more space between the shoulder blades. Push through those hands, another breath in, and then on your exhale, lower your knees and come back into table. Hands under shoulders. This time we're going to find a little kind of a new movement maybe. So we're going to try and float those knees first. You're on the balls of the feet and we're going to pivot on the balls of the feet. So when you're ready, lift those knees. They're floating off the mat. You're in this floating table. And then we're going to drop the heels towards the right side. So the knees are going to swing towards the left side. Right? And then you're coming back through center. And then you're dropping the heels towards the left. The knees swing towards the right. And then go again center and towards the knees towards the left and center and knees towards the right. And then come back through center, send your knees towards the left, and then see if you can bring your right sit bone to the ground. So you're sitting with your feet towards the left side and you're sitting on this right sit bone. Your right hand plants and then push the floor away, reach your left arm up overhead. And then as you exhale, left hand towards your feet, and then right arm reaches up and over, and find that stretch through the right side of the body. Take a full inhale and a full exhale. And then from here, return your right hand, return your left hand, plant them just like you had them in table pose, and then lift your hips, come back into that floating table. We'll go to the other side, same thing. So send your knees towards the right, lower that left sit bone to the ground, and then reach your left arm up, lengthen and push through that left finger, right arm up, sorry. Take a full breath in here, and then on your exhale, right hand to your feet and left arm reaches up and over, and find that stretch now through the left side of the torso. Breathing in and breathing out. And then as you inhale back through center and exhale, planting both hands and coming back into that floating table pose. From here, breathing in, knees are still up. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. Heels are pushing down, hands are pushing the floor away. Take a full breath in and take a full breath out. This time, feet walk towards the hands. And then we'll meet in a forward fold at the top of the mat. This time, holding on to opposite elbows. Allow the head to be heavy. Take a full inhale. And then bend into your right knee as you find a straight or a bit more straight left leg, hamstring stretch. And then straighten right knee and switch. Left knee bends, right hamstring stretch. And straighten and switch. Right knee bends. And straighten and switch. Left knee bends. Now as you inhale, bend into both knees and rise up into a chair pose. Reach your arms forward and up by your ears. Sit down, maybe a little lower even. Draw belly to spine. Take a full breath in. Open arm twist towards the left side. Left arm down and back. Try to keep your knees pointing forward. As you inhale, come back through center. And now right arm back, turn, twist towards the right side. Keep reaching through those fingers, keep sitting down. Inhale back through center, one more time each side. Exhale to the left. Inhale center. Exhale to the right. On your inhale, come back through center. And as you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening spine. And exhale, plant your hands, step it back, downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. One more like that. Inhale and exhale. This time with your next inhale, lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, bend that knee and open up the hip towards the right. So right knee towards the ceiling. Heel towards the glute. Full breath in and full breath out. Strong through that left leg, but try not to lock it out. Push through the hands. One more inhale. Exhale. And then as you breathe in, extend that right leg out behind you. And on your breath out, plant that foot between your hands. Lower that back knee to the mat, maybe tuck or untuck your toes, and then bring your hands to your thigh. Push the thigh away. So you can interlace your fingers here and then use that leverage to lift that chest, that torso. Squeeze through your left glute. Find a bit more lift through the center of the chest. Full breath in and a full breath out. One more inhale and exhale. Now bring yourself back, plant your left hand on the mat to the inside of that right foot, and then use your right hand on your right thigh to push that, keep pushing that thigh away, but turn your torso towards the right. Keep squeezing through that left glute. Take another breath. One more inhale and exhale. And then from here, right hand is going to come to the inside of that right foot. So we're moving into a lizard lunge. Your right foot might go to the side, move it out to the side so that your right shoulder can come, or right arm can be comfortably inside of that right leg. You might stay on your hands, keeping your hips going forward and down. You might come onto your left forearm. You might come onto both forearms. Notice if coming onto forearms means that the left hip flexes and your hips lift. If that's the case, I would stay on hands so that you don't lose the stretch through the front of that left hip. Full breath in and full breath out. Notice what's happening with your right knee. Notice if it opened up to the side. See if you can draw it towards your shoulder. One more inhale and exhale. And then from here, if you were on your forearms, come back onto your hands. We're tucking the back toes, we're lifting that back knee, and then we're going to drop that back heel. So think warrior two legs. Your right hand might stay on the floor to the inside of that right foot. Your left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. If the floor is too far away, block is a good idea, or forearm to thigh into your side angle, left arm all the way by your ear. Full breath in, look for length in that left side. Full breath out. One more inhale and exhale. And then we're going to rise into warrior two. So when you're ready, inhale, rising up. Keep that bend in the front knee, strong through that back leg, fingers reaching forward and back. Take a full breath in and take a full breath out. Reverse warrior, front palm turns up, left hand or to your left thigh, or you might bring that left arm behind you as if you were trying to bring it to your right hip or that front thigh. Keep reaching up and over with that right arm. Breathing in and breathing out. And then with your next inhale, come back through warrior two, straighten that front leg, and then parallel your feet. Maybe shorten your stance. We're in a wide leg stance. Those hands come to the hips. Take a full breath in, lengthening up. And then on your exhale, hinge through the hips, forward and down to fold. Hands can come to your shins or to the floor or to blocks. Halfway lift as you breathe in. Forward fold as you breathe out. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, half lift. Press through pinky toe, side of feet. Exhale, fold. 1 more. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, folding forward. From your forward fold, hands to your hips. A nice bend in those knees, unrolling the spine, rising all the way up. Turn your right toes again to the front of the mat. Return to your warrior two stance. Reach through those fingers. Take a full inhale. And then as you exhale, cartwheel those hands and step your front foot back and return downward facing dog. Full breath in and a full breath out. 1 more inhale here and exhale. We'll try and do all of that on the other side. So when you're ready, your left leg is going to rise. And then on your exhale, bend that knee and opening up that hip. So once again, think about that left knee lifting up, that heel dropping towards the glute, your shoulders square towards the mat. And strong through your right leg. Try not to lock that knee out. Another breath. And then use your next inhale to extend that left leg. And as you exhale, step it between the hands. Maybe get it there with the help of your hands. When you get there, take a breath in first. Find that lunge. And then on your exhale, lower that back knee. Maybe onto the top of the foot, whatever is more comfortable. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. And then walk your hands onto your left thigh. And we're going to look for that stretch through the front of that right hip. Squeeze through your right glutes. Use your left thigh as leverage. Push into it and find a bit more space in your torso, in your rib cage, your chest. Try not to collapse into that lower back. So there will be some compression there, but make sure that it's not too much for you. Another full breath in. And another full breath out. And then coming back through center, lowering the right hand to the floor, keeping your left hand on your left thigh. You might want to point your fingers towards your knee, then push through the heel of the hand as you turn your torso towards the left. Push through the bottom hand too. Keep squeezing through your right glute, breathing in and breathing out. One more breath. And then release your left hand to the inside of that left foot. And again, as you go into lizard, you might walk your left foot out some. Try to get your ankle more or less over your knee. That will allow you to drop the hips a bit more too. Sometimes if the heel is really close to or under the hips, there's only so much flexion that you can do with your ankle, and that might limit you as you get that stretch through the front of the right hip. So walking the foot forward might be a little bit more helpful. So once again, you might stay on your hands. Think about chest going forward rather than just straight down. Okay. Reaching away from that back foot, maybe you come onto that right forearm. The outside one is usually a bit more accessible. Maybe you come onto both forearms. And remember that you can have a block underneath those forearms if you wish. But then again, think about lengthening forward through the chest. Full breath in and full breath out. Left knee towards left shoulder. Take another inhale and another exhale. And then when you're ready, come back onto your hands. If you were on your forearms, we're going to tuck the back toes. We're going to lift that back knee. And then we're keeping that left hand to the inside of that left foot. And we're going to open into our side angle. So back heel is going to drop. You've got your warrior two legs. Maybe your left hand comes onto a block. Right arm towards the ceiling. Maybe that left forearm is on your left thigh. Then send your right arm by your ear. Keep reaching, lengthening through that right side of the body. Take another breath in and take another breath out. And then strengthen your legs. Sometimes you need to shorten a bit your stance, so feel free to do that. And then we're rising up into warrior two. Breathing here. Gazing over those front fingers, strong through that back leg. And then when you're ready, reverse warrior, front palm up, reaching up and back, right hand to thigh, or maybe slide it behind you. It might find that left hip. Full breath in and a full breath out. And then release, coming back into your warrior two, straightening through that front leg, parallel the feet. And again, we're coming into a wide leg forward fold. So slightly pigeon toe those feet, bring the hands to the hips, lengthen. And on your exhale, hinging forward and down. This time we're going to find a twist. So if you've got your block nearby, you might plant the block right between your, under your face. So if you came into a halfway lift with your spine, the block would be straight under your nose and you'd plant your left hand on the block. If you can comfortably reach the floor, you might plant it on the floor, whatever works best for you. Try to align your wrist, your elbow, your shoulder. And then with your next breath in, your right arm reaches out to the side and up towards the ceiling, torso turns towards the right side. Pausing here, reaching through those fingers, pushing through the bottom hand. Try to keep your hips level. Another breath in. And another breath out. And then from here, lowering your right hand, plant it, and same thing towards the left side. Opening up towards the left with your torso, reaching through those left fingers, pushing through that right hand, keeping your hips more or less level, breathing in and breathing out. One more inhale, actively reach. And then as you exhale, lower that left hand. Come back into your forward fold. Hang for a moment. Maybe hold on to opposite elbows. And then bring your hands again to your hips. Bend into those knees and slowly lifting that spine all the way up. We're coming back into our warrior two. So left toes turn, left knee bends, reach your arms forward and back. Take a full inhale. And on your exhale, hands to the mat and step it back, finding your downward facing dog. Breathing in and breathing out. Another full breath in and full breath out. With your next inhale, walk your feet to your hands. And on your exhale, forward fold. Take a moment in this forward fold. If it's available, grab opposite elbows behind your legs. Get your chest, your belly as close to your thighs as you can. And allow the head to hang. So you might draw the chin slightly to the chest and just notice all that space in the back of your neck. Push a bit more through the heels, lift a bit more through the sit bones. And then release your elbows. And with your next inhale, bend into those knees. Come back into your chair pose, arms up by your ears. We're coming back into a twist. Open arms, left arm back, right arm forward, torso turns. Keep your knees, your hips facing forward. Draw belly to spine. And then inhale back through center. Switching sides, right arm back, left arm forward. And again, sit a bit lower, draw belly in. As you inhale, come back through center, and on your exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a halfway lift, and exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, and take a long breath out. On your inhale, lift your heels. And on your exhale, to a count of 5, bend your knees and begin to lower them to the mat for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2. See if you can hover, keep pushing through your hands for 1, and lower. Coming back into a table pose, hands move under shoulders, those knees are under hips, untuck your toes if that's comfortable. As you breathe in, cow pose, lift those sit bones. And as you breathe out, coming into cat, round the spine. Now from here, we'll come back into cow pose, but see if you can lift your heels towards your glutes as you do so, pointing your toes towards the ceiling. And then on your exhale, round the spine into cat, send your sit bones towards the heels. Move like that a couple more times. Inhale into your cow, heels to glutes, chest lifts, gaze lifts. Exhale into cat, sit bones to heels, round the spine, chin to chest. One more time, inhale. And exhale. And then with your next inhale, come back into your table pose. We're going to come back into that pivoting on the balls of the feet. And we're going to do that same sequence that we did earlier, taking the knees from side to side. And we're going to add something to it. Okay, so tuck those toes. You're on the balls of the feet. Okay, remember to use your arms here too. And then when you're ready, float your knees off the mat. Take a full inhale, and then on your exhale, drop your heels to the right, send your knees towards the left, and then drop your right sit bone to the ground. Okay. Same as before, your feet are to the left, your right hand is planted, push the floor away, reach that left arm, inhale. As you exhale, left hand towards the feet and right arm reaches over. Find that stretch through the right side of the body. Take a full breath in. And now on your exhale, bring the right hand and see if you can come all the way onto your right forearm. Okay? So from here, we're going to go into a forearm side plank. So bring this forearm parallel to the top of the mat, elbow under your shoulder, and then extend your top leg. And then you might come and stay on that right knee, lifting your hips, or if it's available, extend your bottom leg to push through that bottom arm, through that right forearm, that right elbow. Engage through your legs, so toes towards your shin. If you're feeling comfortable here, left arm might reach up towards the ceiling. So you'll notice my feet are stacked. It gives you a bit more help with balance. Take another breath in, squeeze the glutes, and breath out. And then lower those hips, bend those knees, bring those hands back into your table pose, and then pivot on the feet and come back into that floating table pose. We'll do the same on the other side. So when you're ready, knees go over towards the right, heels drop to the left, left sit bone plants. Press through that left hand, reach your right arm up, breath in. As you exhale, right hand towards the right, towards the feet, and left arm reaches up and over. Get that space in the left side of the body. Take a breath in and a breath out. And then inhale through center. As you exhale, come onto your left forearm. And bring the forearm parallel to the top of the mat. And then extend top leg. Lift the hips. Maybe left shin stays on the ground. Maybe left leg extends. Squeeze the glutes. Maybe right arm reaches up. Breathing in. Breathing out. So use your legs here. No, don't rely only on your arm and shoulder. One more breath. And then as you exhale, bend those knees, slowly lower the sit bones. Again, coming back up, both hands plant onto the balls of the feet. Floating table, take a breath in here. And then on your exhale, downward facing dog. And find a wide leg down dog and a short down dog. Okay, so we're going to find another twist to restore some space in the side body after that side plank. Okay. So shorter down dog. See if you can bring your right hand underneath you and across towards that left leg. See if you can grab a hold of that left leg and then pull. Draw the chest towards that left thigh. Let your gaze go under your left armpit. Full breath in and full breath out. One more like that. Inhale and exhale. And then release. Plant your right hand. And same thing now with the left. Left hand crosses underneath you. Grab a hold of any part of that right leg. And then use that grip to draw the chest towards that right thigh. Maybe gazing under that right armpit. And then releasing and walking your hands towards your feet. Wide leg forward fold at the back of the mat. Interlace your fingers, and if it's comfortable, bring your hands to the back of your head, the base of your skull. Let your elbows be heavy. Invite a little bend in your knees. And then allow the heaviness of your head, your arms, and gravity to find a bit more space in that spine and that back body. Breathing in and breathing out. One more inhale and exhale. And then release those hands. Once again, walking them to the top of the mat. This time you're in a wide-legged plank pose. More than welcome to stay here. If you still got a little bit more twisting action in you, drop your heels towards the right. Back through center and drop the heels towards the left. And then back through center. And then downward facing dog. Let's all meet there. You can bring your feet back to hip width. Push the floor away with those hands. Push those heels towards the ground. Invite space in that spine, that torso. Especially after like a twisting practice, we kind of crave space. So from now on, try to use the poses that we do to restore that space between vertebra, between ribs, between organs in that torso. One more breath. And then let's all lower those knees to the mat. Big toes to touch, knees can go wide, child's pose, sit bones towards your heels. Reaching forward with those fingers, lengthening that spine, getting that belly, chest, head as close to the ground as you can. Sinking those sit bones towards the heels, breathing in and breathing out. One more breath in and breath out. And then walking those hands back towards us, lifting that spine, and we'll make our way into a seat. So when you're ready, feet can come to the side and those legs come in front of us. Once you get there, let's keep those knees bent and those feet planted. Maybe they go a little wider, and then bring your hands around your shins. We're coming into a bit of a, well, not into cow and cat, a seated cow and cat. So bring your chest forward as you breathe in, but really use the grip on your legs. So elbows bent and those arms are working to pull yourself forward. And then on your exhale, round. Don't lose the grip on the legs so that you can really roll back without going all the way, so your arms extend. And then again, inhale, bring yourself forward. And exhale and round. One more time. Inhale, forward, expand that rib cage. Exhale, draw ribs in, belly in, round the back body. And then find a neutral spine. And then bring your feet a bit wider. Bring your hands to your outer hips. Take a full inhale. And then drop your knees towards the left side. Bring your right hand all the way over and turn your torso any amount towards the space behind you. Squeeze through your right glute and see if you can feel a stretch through the front of that right hip. Take a full inhale and full exhale. And return your right hand over, bring your knees back through center and take it over to the other side. So knees go over towards the right and then left hand comes over. And then turning your torso towards the space behind you, and now squeeze the left glute and see if you can feel that stretch through the front of that left hip. Breathing in and breathing out. And then bringing that left arm over, coming back through center, knees lift. And then this time bring the soles of the feet together and knees go wide. Hands could stay behind you and you propping yourself up and to go forward and down with your chest. So this is one option here, especially a good one if you tend to be more rounded back. Use your hands to push yourself forward. If you've got that, bring your hands around your ankles or shins and then use that to bring that chest forward and down. And as always here, think about forward first and then down. Don't go straight into that rounded spine. And first find that flexion and that space between vertebra. And then allow yourself to lower towards the ground. Find a couple cycles of breath. If your arms are in front of you, your elbows could be at your shins, and you could also use your elbows to help with that lengthening forward. One more breath. And then we'll all rise up Bringing those knees back up, planting those feet. We're going to lower onto the mat. I'm going to pause at one point, so see if that works for you, just a bit of core work here. So arms are going to reach forward, find that lifted spine, find that broad chest, take a full inhale, and then on your exhale, begin to round. That lower back is going to lower first. And then we're going to lower the back ribs. Let's try to keep those shoulder blades lifted and the head lifted. Those fingers, those arms are reaching forward. And then from here, see if you can lengthen the right leg, float it, and see if you can lengthen your left leg and float. Push that lower back down. Take another breath in. Another breath out. One more inhale, quite a bit of work through that core. And then on your exhale, gently lower the legs and gently lower upper back and lower head. Nice job. Once you are done, bring those knees into your chest. And then one hand on each knee, separate circles with those knees in one direction. And then switch. And then once the knees come back through center, plant your feet hip width, heels close to your glutes. We're coming into a bridge pose. Arms by your side, push into those forearms as well as into your heels and your shoulders to lift those hips off the ground. And then keep your hips lifted, and then see if you can come onto your right, onto the ball of the right foot. So lift your right heel and lower. And then see if you can lift your left heel and lower. And now see if you can lift both heels at the same time. Keep them lifted, push through those forearms, through those shoulders. Take a full breath in. And then on your exhale, lower one heel, lower the other. And then slowly from upper spine all the way to tailbone, lower to the ground. Bring your feet a bit wider, let your knees rest against one another, and bring your hands to your belly. Deep breath in, belly expanding against hands. Long breath out, belly moving away from hands. If you haven't already, see if you can make your breath audible. And one more. So whenever you're ready, we're moving into Shavasana. If you feel like your body needs another movement, another little pose, feel free to go there. Maybe you want to draw those knees in towards the chest and rock a bit from side to side. Maybe you're ready for stillness. So either way, give yourself a moment here. And then we'll all try to get to a place of stillness for these last moments of practice. So if you think you might need some clothing, a little bit of warmth, make sure you've got that. If you're comfortable on your back, you might stay on your back. If you prefer to be on the side, you might go there. You can always find a seat. And then let's allow that breath just to become a normal breath, a breath that we don't have to think about. And then allow that physical body to be supported by the ground. So trust the ground underneath you, trust your space. It is safe to soften now, to let go of tension, effort. And for the next few minutes, let's try and let go of the doing and embrace a bit more the being. And as always, if you've got the time and you can stay for a bit longer and you feel like it, feel free to do that. If you're ready to move, first notice your breath, notice the movement of your breath. And then on that movement, add some more movement, maybe your fingers and your toes, anywhere else in the body in any way that feels good to you. And taking your time from that back body, maybe rolling onto the side body, finding a breath. And then let's meet in a comfortable seat to end practice together. As you get there, maybe your eyes stay closed, maybe your hands come to your heart. We'll acknowledge here the practice. We'll acknowledge ourselves for practicing. We'll acknowledge those who practice with us at any time, and then all those who make it possible. And we end with a word that talks about connection, about seeing, noticing, and depending on one another. A word that means that the light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. Namaste.